All right, welcome to Weekly Wise today. Glad to have you here. To just give an introduction as to what Weekly Wise is all about for those who are joining us for the first time, and welcome to those who are joining us online as well. Weekly Wise got started back in, it was April or May that we started it, as something that, it actually started because we had a question. Our question was, what in the world are we going to do with all this ice cream? We at the time had 3 chest freezers packed full with nothing but Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Reason being, we had hosted Ben & Jerry's Free Cone Day not long before that and had bought mass quantities of ice cream, and not as many people showed up. We only had 1,200 people show up to our house to have free ice cream. And so we had a lot left over. Like, what are we going to do with all of this? And we wanted to make it something meaningful, not just like throw it away to, I mean, not throw it away, but, you know, just give it away to all the masses. We wanted to make it something meaningful. So we brought together some concepts of saying, hey, how we could probably use this to coincide with some of our business efforts, as well as create a stage, create a place where people can share the message that's within them. And that's something we love to talk about is, what's your why? We call this Weekly Whys, W-H-Y-S, because we want to know, what's your why? What inspires you? What do you believe in so much that you'd actually be willing to stand up in front of people and talk about it? And our experience is that when we share those beliefs, that why, it resonates with others and inspires us and others. And as we've gotten to host these over the last, 9-10 months now, we feel like we just lucked out. We've had so many amazing speakers come and share their inspiration, their why, their message here with us in this forum, and it's been fabulous. So with that, it is my honor, my pleasure to get to introduce today Tracy Roberts. He is our friend, and he is I don't know if I'll get all of his names down, but he is the pastor of prosperity, he is the deacon of dollars, he is the colonel of cash, he is the ambassador of abundance, and he probably has more that I don't have off the top of my head. But he's a wonderful, engaging speaker. I've got to listen to him a number of times. I'm really excited for today. And with that, Tracy Roberts coming up.
Thank you so much. Is there anybody that have you ever had money run out before the month? Has anybody ever had the money run out before the month? Have you ever had your bills where you had more bills than you had bank account? You had that? Well, Matt asked me to speak about some of the whys and why I do what I do. And so here's what I want to tell you. The reason why I do what I do is because I was once a slave and now I'm free. I was once bound in chains, and now those chains are no more. And that is why I do what I do. So tonight, what I've done is I wanted to deliver to y'all and give y'all my 6 principles. So I'm going to give you 3 growth principles and 3 principles of prosperity. The reason why I'm doing this is because from time to time I've been told that when I speak that I just am like chocolate ice cream, and I just give the one flavor over and over and over again. Maybe that's why some of the churches down in Texas like me coming, because that's what I deliver is chocolate ice cream. And so they enjoy it. And because we're in Matt's house tonight, then what I wanted to do is I wanted to deliver some more ice cream. So I'm gonna give y'all some flavors if you're ready for some different flavors tonight. And we're gonna be talking about money. And we're gonna also be talking about why money matters. Are y'all okay with that? You're okay with money and why money matters? All right. So the first thing, and these are all principles that I learned from mentors in my life. Mentors can make a difference, and that's gonna be the vanilla ice cream on the end. I might have some whipped cream for us later. But the first growth principle is this, and this is kind of like kindergarten. This was taught to me by my country granny. Now this is a poor granny that I love dearly. She taught me so many things. She said to me, she said, Tracy, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, make sure that you've always got at least some of this in your pocket. She said, make sure that you've got some coins in your pocket, because you should never be without some money. Now later I learned that that was coming from it was a sound principle, and it was a good principle for me to live my life by. To always have some coin, always have some coin on my person wherever I'm going and whatever I'm doing. But I learned that it was coming from not from a place of prosperity, but it was coming from an individual who had gone through the Great Depression. And she had learned some things, that it's a good idea to have money. Now the secondary part of that principle was that you need to have relationships. And if you got some good relationships, then those relationships, when you call them on the phone with that quarter that you're going to put into the phone, then they'll actually answer the phone and they'll come get you when necessary. So principle one is always keep something. Always make sure you have a little something on hand so that you're never broke. And then principle number two, and these are growth principles, so these are kind of foundational. Principle number two, I learned from my daddy. And he taught me that you should work hard and keep your job. To work hard and keep your job. That served me well for many years until my job quit me. And I hurt my knee and I got to retire. And so it didn't work anymore. But he taught me hard work. But one of the things that I learned about hard work was that hard work is not going to get you everywhere you need to go. It'll only take you so far. Because if hard work were the thing that was make someone successful, then my daddy would have been born, or he would have died a very, very wealthy man. And yet, when he passed away, he was not wealthy. And so we got principle number two, and that is to work hard, but remembering that hard work is not going to take you everywhere that you need to go in this world in which we live. Then there's growth principle number three. Are y'all ready for number three? Y'all got number three?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, one of the great things is I was telling you about mentors in my life. I had a wonderful mentor come into my life, and it was a man by the name of Dave Ramsey's. Dave Ramsey's taught me so many powerful tools. He taught me how to get out of debt, how to do a snowball and make that debt disappear, and how to set money aside, which has served me well many, many times. But once again, while this is a foundational principle, then what I found out was that now I'm still only in junior high. So my granny got me out of kindergarten, my daddy got me out of primary school, and Dave Ramsey's got me out of junior high. And I love every one of them for the things that they taught me. And then all of a sudden, I started having different mentors come into my life. Now I was telling y'all earlier, before we go into those principles of prosperity, that I came from a background. The background that I came from is this. We were P.O. poor. And I mean po. We were so poor, and this is no joke, that we couldn't have, the reason why we couldn't be P-O-O-R poor is because we could not afford another consonant, and we damn sure couldn't afford another vowel. We couldn't buy a vowel for anything. So we were P.O. po. But I never had to go to sleep hungry. Not one night did I ever go to sleep hungry. But as I was growing up, I saw around me, I saw that there were things that I couldn't have. But that wasn't good enough for me. And so I started looking at individuals, and I found mentors, and those mentors started teaching me things. And I started learning, and a lot of it was from observation. And you can only get so much from observation, but you can get a lot from observation. And then one of my great mentors came into my life, Rabbi Daniel Lapin. Now, Rabbi Lapin, he tells us, he says that he's America's rabbi, and everyone needs a rabbi, whether you're Jewish or not. So Rabbi Lapin is my personal rabbi. He taught me so many things. And so principle number 4, which is our first prosperity principle, number 4, first prosperity principle is that to understand money. What is money? Does anybody have an idea of what money is? Is it this? Is it this? Some Ben Franklin's and others?
It's lots of things.
Okay. As I was learning about money, I found out that money is an idea. It's an idea. And that idea is backed by confidence. And I was like, "Ooh." Right, that was one of my great mentors, Roger Salom, taught me that. He taught me that money is an idea backed by confidence. And then Rabbi Lapin, now Rabbi Lapin coming back into the picture and coming back into my life, he taught me some things about money. So he said, if I've got some, does anybody have any money on them? You got some money? All right. Well, hopefully we're gonna change that, and you will have some money on your person at all times. Now, Rabbi Lapin said that if you've got some of these, that if you've got some money, if you've got some of my friends, Ben Franklin, I love Ben Franklin, and I'm gonna bring him up so y'all can see him. He's one of my good friends. Dr. Ben Franklin, he is awesome and very friendly to me, but Rabbi Lapin taught me, he said that if you have some of these and you didn't do something illegal, immoral, or unethical, in other words, Bonnie, if you got some of these, and did you knock over a grocery store to get them?
Just didn't.
No, didn't do that. Okay, I knew Bonnie wouldn't be part of that. How about Matt? You've got some. Did you rob an old lady on the way home from work and take them from her?
That was yesterday.
Okay, so Matt wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do that either.
Nope.
Zachary, have you ever swindled? Do you swindle people when you get these?
No.
You're not a swindler. Okay. So if you haven't done something illegal, immoral, or unethical, the principle is this. The reason why you have these is because you've blessed one or more of God's children. So these are now certificates of appreciation, or when your boss writes you a check for your work, then they're a certificate of achievement. So they're either a certificate of appreciation or a certificate of achievement. Either way is because you have blessed and enhanced someone else's life, and that is why you got them. Then all of a sudden, my beautiful wife Lviv and I, we were down in Dallas, Texas, and we got to spend 3 whole days with Rabbi Lapin. And we were in a conversation, and then he looks at me, he's just like came right up into my face, and Rabbi Lapin said, and I'm not even going to try to, I can't speak with a South African accent, but Rabbi Lapin said, you are under a moral obligation to create as many of these as possible. A moral obligation. He put me under a moral obligation. I said, Rabbi, but he did, and he said, because as your bank account starts growing bigger and bigger, your bank account's getting bigger and bigger, now you have evidence that you've been blessing God's children. I was like, wow. So I want to have a big bank account because then I've got some proof. And that proof is that I've been actually blessing other people, creating value in their world. Are y'all good with that? So that is number 4. And the first principle of prosperity is to understand what money is, what it's about, and why I am seeking for it. Principle number 5. Now this may be one of the mentors that I love the most. And this is the mentor that took me to the university level. Let me tell you about this particular individual. He was a king from long, long ago. But it was talked about this king, and God said that this king would be forever, that there would never be another king that was ever richer, wealthier, or smarter than this particular one. As a matter of fact, this king was so good at what he did that the kings of the earth would come to him annually, and they would bring gold, and they would plop gold in front of him and go, and they would say, King Solomon, can you help us? We've got an issue in our kingdom. He would hear the issue, and then he'd answer it, and they'd be happy, and they'd go about their business. Now, this king was so wealthy, I did a calculation, and he brought in almost $1 billion in 1 year from the calculations when I was adding up the thing. The Queen of Sheba, when she came to visit, she brought 120 talents of gold, and a talent, if we're averaging it out, will weigh around 75 pounds. A lot of gold. Just so that she could talk to him. And then when she started talking to him, she said, oh my gosh, all of my servants, they underestimated how cool you were. And as a matter of fact, wow, they didn't even come close. And Solomon knew how cool he was, and because God had given wisdom. And she said, here I, the Queen of Sheba, and she was from a very wealthy place. If you can roll into town with 120 talents of gold, you have to be from a wealthy place. But she said, your servants live better than me. The guys cleaning Solomon's toilet were living better than kings, okay? And so that's how powerful this particular king is in my world. And so the principle that I want you to know about King Solomon is he understood money in a way that no one else did. So King Solomon taught me this, that money, he said, money answereth all things. It answereth all things. So if you've got any questions, according to King Solomon, that with this, I can answer your question. And so once we get offline, and if anybody ever wants to talk, then we can talk about it. And I can show you anytime how that money does indeed answer all things. So my question to you is this. If money can answer, then money has to be able to do what? Hear. It has to be able to hear. And if money can hear, then that means money has ears. So money can hear what you're saying. And so now, Matt, this is a weekly why, but you did invite me here and introduce me as the pastor of prosperity. So I'm going to go to the scriptures just a little bit, and here it is. Because in Ecclesiastes 10:19 is where Solomon says, money answereth all things. And then in the book of Revelations, and this is for my Christian friends mostly out there, but in the book of Revelations, it says in chapter 19, verse 10, that the testimony of Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy. Y'all stay with me, whether you're Christian, whether you're Jew, whether you're Gentile, whether you're Muslim, it doesn't matter. Then stay with me on this. So if you have a testimony of Jesus Christ, then that makes you a prophet or a prophetess, because it says the testimony of Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy. What that means for each and every one of us is a principle that has been passed down through the generations, through ancient Hebrew wisdom, and it's come to us in modern scriptures. And that is, what I speak out of my mouth, is prophecy. So King Solomon said, with the tongue, you can create life or death with my tongue. So I can speak goodness or I can speak evil as I'm talking to people. So I started thinking about that. And I said, wait a second. So King Solomon is telling me that money answereth all things, and now I know that money has ears and it can't hear. And then I'm knowing, and I'm now getting an understanding that when I speak, that I'm actually prophesying on my behalf, for or against me. Wow. So now I'm careful at what I say. When words come out of my mouth, I want to be very careful. Now, do you like your friends? If your friends are kind to you, do you like them? If I walk up to you and I say, hey, what's happening, and I'm nice and I'm pleasant to you, then you probably want to hang out with me. But if the first thing that I said is I looked over you and tried to say, hey, man, you're not dressed right, or you don't go take a bath or something, then you wouldn't want to be my friend and wouldn't want to hang around me. So what happens is there are people that will use language and they'll start talking about my friends here. I'm just using this as an example. So sometimes I talk to my friends, and so I just want them to know that I'm using this as an example. And they'll say that these fellows are dirty, they're filthy, that money is just bad and evil. Now, if you tell that to money, is money going to want to hang out with you? I don't think so. It's not going to want to be around you. Just like your friends, it wouldn't want to be around you. So when I speak to money, then I speak in a different way. I give money instruction. First of all, I let my friends here know that I like them. I let them know that they're my friends. And I say, Benjamin, I call him by name. Hey, Benjamin. Hey, Ulysses S. Grant, General Grant, you're awesome, man. Andrew Jackson, Old Hickory, you're cool. Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton, he was the aide-de-camp to George Washington. I love him too. Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator. Man, I'm loving my friends here. Thomas Jefferson. Oh my gosh. Can I tell y'all a story about Thomas Jefferson real quick? Now, Thomas Jefferson, he was so smart. I mean, just beyond brilliant smart. And one time when President John F. Kennedy, he had all the Nobel laureates, and they came to visit the White House. President Kennedy gets up and he says, I believe that this is the greatest assemblage of minds that have ever been in this house at one time. And then he stopped, and all of the Nobel laureates who are so smart in science and other things, they're all puffed up. And then he stopped, and President Kennedy says, except when Thomas Jefferson dined alone. That's how powerful Thomas Jefferson is. And then on my $1 bill, then I've got General George Washington, the man who could have been king and chose to be president instead. I love these, my friends, and so I talk to them. And here's one of the things that I say. Are y'all ready for it? Okay, here's some of the things that I say. When I'm talking to money, and if you don't have a good relationship with money, I would encourage you to use the same exact words that I'm about to use. All right, so if you don't have a good relationship with money, use my same exact words. I say money. Can anybody say money? Money. I say money. 432 West, 760 North, Santaquin, Utah, 84655, United States of America. That's what I say to money. And if you're not good with money, then I would encourage you to say 432 West, 760 North, Santaquin, Utah, 84655, United States of America. Now, I just barely put in the United States of America. And then Lviv was showing me, she showed me that there was these really cool things. And when we travel, then we always get money friends from other countries. And also I was like, oh, my money friends could be coming from another country, so I should let them know which country that I live in too. And so if you let money know where you live, then it knows what address to come to. I give it my zip code so that money will always know, because it could be coming through the mail. And so that's one of the things that I want y'all to know. And so I started learning this great principle from King Solomon, and he was teaching me He was teaching me. So what I want to do is I want to encourage you as you're learning from mentors to tap in on a daily basis. Tap into the knowledge of the ages. Read good books every day. Read some of the writings of Solomon every day, and it'll take you to places that you can't even imagine. And so now, are y'all ready to go? I said I was going to give you 6. All right, here's number 6. This is the PhD level. I had a great mentor come into my life. And this was a real live flesh and blood mentor. I mean, having King Solomon, you can't hardly beat him. But I'm just getting to read what he had written about back in the past. And then all of a sudden I have a flesh and blood mentor who is like unto Solomon come into my life. This man's a man by the name of Christopher Crone. He started teaching me some things. He showed me the importance of having mentors in my life for whatever I want to do. And if anybody, y'all remember Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players ever?
Oh, yes. Guess
who Michael Jordan had? Michael Jordan had Phil Jackson, one of the greatest coaches ever. And Phil Jackson helped take Michael Jordan's, he had this great gift, and he helped propel that gift into where now Michael Jordan makes billions of dollars. He's got contracts for over $1 billion. And so, but it was because he had great mentors come into his life. And so that would be principle number 6, is great mentors will make the difference in your life. Find a mentor who has gone way past wherever I want to be. If I want to be right here, then I want to find a mentor that's way over here. And that is one of the principles of prosperity that have changed my whole world. And now, I don't know if y'all, I'm almost done, but I wanted to give you a bonus. Are y'all good for a really quick bonus?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this will be bonus, and we'll call this bonus number 7. And this is it, that money is a terrible master. It puts chains and shackles on people if it is your master. But if it is your servant, these my friends, they love to serve me. They serve me 24/7. They serve me around the clock. They serve me with a smile on their face. They're happy to serve. That's because they're working for me. And if they're not working for me and I'm working for them, if at any time that I'm in a position where I'm working for money, then I become a slave and they become my God. When I get in a place where all of a sudden money is working for me, then it works for me 24/7, whether I'm with my family and we're on a beach somewhere and we got to spend some time on a beach, then all of a sudden now money's working for me, whether I'm asleep, whether I'm visiting Matt at his house, or anything that I'm doing, money is now working for me and making my world a better place. And so I hope that these have been a blessing to you. I really hope that they've helped y'all out as we're going forth. And just know that as you are seeking to have a better life and seeking to live in your mission, then money is going to be the magnet that's going to make that possible. So I will leave you with this blessing. This is Colonel Tracy Roberts, your pastor of prosperity, leaving you with the blessing of prosperity, abundance, and favor. God bless you as you bless others, and remember to live in purpose and on purpose always. Thank you, Matt, so much. This has been a great blessing.
Thank you. Excellent. Really appreciate you being here. So at this point, you guys gave such a beautiful presentation, and I'm just going to segue very nicely because I'm going to talk just briefly about the mentoring network that you already know about and Limitless.
Awesome.
And so those who are watching or recording and here, I know a little bit about that. So again,
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was excellent. Yeah. He spoke about the value of mentors. And just to give a brief story of my own personal journey in that same aspect, I very recently, well, I should say for a lot of years, I have been in the position that you just described. I have been working for dollars. I have been working for money. And it always was a grind against me. I knew something was amiss, and I wasn't sure what it was. And it was grinding me down. Because if you're going to work every day and you're working for money, it's going to grind you down. It is not aligned with who you are as a divine being. And it was recently, it was in fact just a matter of a couple of months ago, that I was having a discussion with a mentor that it finally all clicked. And I realized I was not seeing my employer as a person to serve. I was seeing them as an object, as a vehicle to give me money. That was it. And it showed in how well I performed at work. It showed in how it grinded me down. It showed in how I came home from work. It showed up in the family. It showed up everywhere in my life. And then my eyes were open. I had a simple little shift that I realized I am here to provide value for the company, their mission, and their effort to serve others. I am here to serve. Dollars come because I'm serving. And that shift, that change, I don't have to go to work anymore. I get to go to work. I don't go to work so that I can provide for my family. I do provide for my family by going to work. Small shift in mindset. Huge change in how I experience a vast, significant part of my life right now. And I love that principle. And it came thanks to mentorship. It came through a discussion with a mentor. We all have different areas that we want improvement in our life, whether it's financially, whether it's in relationships. It could be in our personal strength and power, where we're able to stand up for what we believe in and show up and, personal power, believing in ourselves. Or it could be in our health. Whatever way that we want to show up in strength, we want to see better results in our lives, there are two core components that I'm aware of. Mentors that are dead and mentors that are alive. The writings of those who've had that experience, and the live actual working with people who've gone, as Tracy mentioned, far beyond where you want to go. Because then how capable will they be to lead you on that journey? And we have a really, really special, to me, way to access mentorship, for a way that is so, you don't have to even take $1 out of your pocket. I mean, speaking of financial
mentorship for free?
Mentorship for free.
Whoa. All right, I'm interested.
And I'm not talking just about audio books either, or books that you go buy at the go borrow from the library. I mean mentorship. There's a free app, and this is a gift to anyone listening online, anyone here. You can go to take your phone out, your iPhone or your Android phone. Mine's charging at the moment. I pull it out for you right now. And go to your store, your app store, and search for Strongbrook, STRONGBROOK. And it is a free app that you can download there. And on it, you will find, awesome. I'm going to show this, if that's all right. The app, see that SB right there? That's the little insignia. I don't know if they can see that very well. But search for Strongbrook, and that app will pull up. And when you download that, you will have the opportunity to create a free account. You'll need an invitation code from whoever invited you to listen to this. They can get you a code to get in. It is exclusive. It's by invitation only. Because this is world-class mentorship from mentors, whether it's in cooking for health, whether it's finance, again, personal power, mindset, or whatever you're wanting to create, whatever result you're wanting to create in your life. Does that sound amazing to anyone? I mean,
yes.
that is incredible value. That is something that can change your life. It can do that little mindset switch like it did for me and make that difference for you. When you pull it up, show it because there's, so people can see online as well. There's daily mentor moments, little 1 to 3 minute bits of inspiration. As one of my mentors that I've learned from, Zig Ziglar says, I don't get the quote perfectly, but I love it. He says that some people complain because motivation doesn't last. He says that's why we also recommend bathing. You need to do it every day. Mm-hmm. And that's the same with motivation. That's something that this can provide. And there are courses in here from various mentors where you can learn and listen to, watch, implement, work on, and take your life to the next level in some area. And if someone resonates with you deeply, you can connect with that mentor and reach out to them and work one-on-one with someone that you admire, someone that you want to connect with. Lastly, I want to introduce you to something called Limitless. I have, thank you. I have here a little wristband. It's black on one side, it's red on the other. Every day, I start out with it black. And during the course of the day, I find a time, often it's when I'm studying my scriptures, but sometimes it's outside of that, and I say, what is one thing that is holding me back right now from showing up or getting the results I want in, whether it's financially, in health, or showing up the way I want? What is one thing standing in my way? What is one thing inside me, in my mindset, that needs to shift? And when I find it, I replace it, I turn it around, I choose the direction I want to go. And when I do, I flip it around to red. Every day. Now, how to do this and techniques on how to do this so it can be effective and make an actual difference in how I show up in my life, I learned through a program called Limitless. Limitless is a 3-day experiential event, and boy, is it an experience. How many here have been to, okay, awesome. So you can, everyone's nodding, like, yeah, this is an experience. And I've had, it's where when you show up to this Limitless event, if you go home not the same person that you came, you slept the whole time. Like you were just, or you were completely closed off. If you even have a little bit of open mind, just willing to be teachable, even in a little bit, you're going to grow. You're going to learn. You're going to become a better person. And you're going to get better results in whatever area of life you choose to focus on. This event is normally a $499 ticket. But because of the volunteer efforts that we do in helping put this on, my wife and I both volunteer to staff this event, we can get you in for $69. And that actually gets you and a spouse or friend into this event. Highly recommend it. The next one is in February. It's here in Provo, Utah. There are people who drive out from Florida, from Arkansas. I met a woman from Arkansas this time, from Texas, from Idaho. People come from all across the nation to this event because of the results it produces in their lives. So wherever you are, $69, and find a bus, a train, an automobile, whatever it is, a plane, and get yourself to Provo, Utah for this. It will impact your life. It will provide that mentorship and expose you to so many potential ideas and so many other mentors. Well, that's all I can say about it.
February 17th through the 19th.
Thank you. The exact dates, yes, thank you. The exact dates are February 17th through the 19th. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So with that, we have one last thing to do. And that is bring Tracy back up, and my wife ran to get kids, so I'm going to have to run out real quick to do our traditional unboxing of a flavor of ice cream. So I will be.
All right. So Matt's gonna leave for just a second because he's gonna give me some ice cream, and hopefully when we get through with the ice cream, I'll still be able to button my coat. That will be a good thing because Matt loves ice cream, and you can see that it does not have an impact on him very much. One of the things that he was talking about with Limitless is so powerful is whenever I was teaching those growth principles, those foundations, what I found is that by following those, I was very limited. I was actually living in a place of scarcity when I was in the bottom level. As I moved to the top three, to the levels of prosperity principles, then I started becoming limitless. And so limitless is a great thing. So
I love just the name of it. The mindset that goes along with being limitless, living a limitless, unconditional life. It's beautiful. All right. So the flavor that Tracy selected is called Americone Dream. It is vanilla ice cream with a caramel swirl and chocolate-covered waffle cone pieces. It is delicious. And like, well, you know how when technology, a new gadget comes out, they do an unboxing, you'll see those, and they like take it out of the package and stuff. We like to do that here. And we also like to make the people online a little jealous so they want to show up live. We love to have people live so they can come get some free ice cream. So this is what it looks like. Some good fudge chunks in there, it's waffle cone pieces and caramel swirl. So this, my pastor prosperity, is an entirely abundant pint for you. And your wife is going to take a bite.
oh, she's going to give me a bite.
Oh, there you go. Excellent.
This ice cream is limitless. Thank you, Ben and Jerry, for providing it, and for Matt for being one of their greatest fans.
All right, thank you so much. And lastly, our next weekly Whys, as mentioned, we have been spacing these out a little bit to make some room for some other things and projects we're taking on. The next one will be the 23rd, so it's actually 3 weeks from today. You can watch on Facebook. You'll see we'll create an event for it and follow you and see you then.